Good morning, Facebook. Tuesday. Namaste. God bless. How are all of you? Facebook's trying to reconnect. Okay. Are you connected now or what, man? You just messed up my whole opening here, my whole monologue. And shit. Good night. Elvis has left the building. Now, guys, good morning. Happy Tuesday. How are all of you? Fresh off last night's show with America's New Escape that I will upload later with Kurt. It was a great show. We talked about fidelity and conformity. And if you're true to yourself in life, you don't have to conform to anything in life. And that kind of goes wholeheartedly with what's going to happen today with America's Mentor. No scripture, no positive, no nothing. I'm going to give you guys shit. I'm going to give you guys bare bones stuff that I had to go through and how we all relate to this. And it doesn't matter how positive you are. It doesn't matter how happy you are. You're gonna run into these meatballs, man. You're gonna run into situations like this, but it's that limitless mindset. That's one of the words today I'm going to feature. That limitless mindset of never-ending opportunities and possibilities that'll just keep you moving forward. So I'm gonna get right to it. I posted this last night in a reel. Thanks for the hundreds of views on it, guys. You're awesome on this, and it's so true. It's so true. It's what we deal with every day. It's what I've been dealing with since the day I popped out of mom's womb, man. It's just who I am as a person. But I think it's great because it's taught me so much in life. And this story goes perfectly with what I'm going to talk about. So I'll get right to it. Out of the quote box today, not my quote, but somebody else's today. When someone tells you it can't be done, remember, these are their limits, not yours. That should be a staple of everybody's mindset. The fact of the matter is everybody has their own opinions and beliefs and situations going on, but it doesn't have to be yours. And what we were talking about last night with conformity is we're all adapting and conforming to everybody else's opinion instead of being this true to ourselves in so many ways and being steadfast to being who we are. And I'm going to define the fidelity, and I'll get to my story, and you guys can grab some coffee or popcorn, whatever you want to do, because hopefully it helps you guys. Fidelity is the quality or state of being. That's being true to yourself. That's steadfast faith and loyalty. So whatever you're doing in life, if you're steadfast and you have faith in it and you're loyal to it, you are going to achieve it. And that there's no bullshit about it, and things are going to get out of the way. And there are no limits. There are no limits to a limitless mind. That's a quote I wrote many, many moons ago to inspire me because I knew that with what was in front of me was going to be a task. And I had to keep, how should we say, reiterating to myself that I'm going to get through this task, meaning get out of that 12 by 12 and get to a life where I've always wanted to have, be, and do. And I did that. I did that in a lot of ways. I've overcome all these things in life because I had a limitless mindset of overcoming, because there's no limits with me. There's always a way. There's always a way. And if there isn't a way, I'm going to make a way. And I've done that with my writing. I've done that with so many things in my life, my careers. I mean, I don't need an acronym in the front or back of my name to get things done. And when you have that kind of mindset, guys, life is endless. So story time here with America's Mentor. I brought this to you guys back in March. Yeah, it's been that long. God, I think the middle of March. I was saying, yeah, I'm gonna buy a house, man. I'm gonna start a new, 57. Let's get going here. I gotta, all these things going on. And my bank approached me. I've had these guys since back in the very beginning of the 12 by 12. Literally, when I was at a 390, I think a 390 credit score. I was the bottom feeder, still looking for food. 390 or 400, I think it was. I even had to put money in the bank for them to give me a checking account. I literally had they had no confidence in me. Fast forward to today, you have an 800 credit score, basically, or 790 credit score. And the bank approaches you months ago and says, look, we got a great mortgage rate. Let's give that to you. And I said, you know what? That's a great idea. I want to get a new place, a bigger place for my girls and I, to have my girls come stay with me or live with me, whatever they want to do. This is my dream, what I've always wanted in life. And the person I dealt with was a vice president of this bank in the mortgage operation. And I dealt with her personally. Literally, she came to my work. I was approved within one day for this amount, ready to go. And within 2 days, I had the documents literally in front of me. to sign, this stack, it's not even the closing. It's just a stack that goes to underwriting, giving them permission to do what they have to do. I was already approved for this amount. I was going to pay this monthly amount. I was going to get grants as a first-time home buyer because I haven't owned a home. I've had 7 mortgages, literally, with investment properties throughout the years. But because I haven't owned a home, you qualify as a new homeowner, which is great. You get all the benefits from that. Great, bigger house, get a great place for the girls and I. Really a bigger studio for America's Mentor. I'm ready to go with this. Okay, fine. Now we get into the past 2 week to 3 weeks syndrome. We're in like the beginning of April, should we say. And I stopped hearing from them. And I said, wait. I said, what's going on? I gave you all the returns and taxes and this and that. And basically, the woman who was the vice president of mortgage for the operations of that bank suddenly left. So whatever happened in her life, she had to leave. And from that, left every bit of personal service from what I was going through. I basically was transferred over to another person with a different opinion about what I was trying to get, which was completely the opposite. And this is what we go through in life every day. We have one person who relates to what you want to do, and then there's people who have opinions about what you want to do. And for the next, I would say 6 weeks, every Tuesday, like I'm here on Tuesday, America's Mentor, every Tuesday I would spend writing and dictating all these different documents I had to provide to prove who I was. I mean, they wanted everything. They wanted to know why this happened in my life, why I got divorced. And I mean, literally deep. I mean, going from one spectrum to the other. And I honestly say, I never said it, but it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare because a different person's perspective compared to a different person's perspective created a whole different parameter, what was going on. And this is how we deal with in life. You get somewhere in life with somebody and you click right away. Or you get somewhere in life and you don't click with that person, you got to find another way. This is the adversity you got to have with your life. Eventually, out of weeks and weeks and weeks of going through this process, of just trying to get a mortgage, man. I got this. It doesn't matter that you have almost an 800 credit score. It doesn't matter. It was their opinion. They wanted everything. Medical records. I mean, all kinds of, this is a regional big bank, man. They wanted all these things from me. And I said, wait. I said, stop it. How relevant is this pertaining to what I'm trying to do? You have my history. You've known me since 2005 or whatever it might be. You know what I've done. You know how far I've come. Didn't matter. It didn't matter. So eventually I had to pull out. And it came down to the point where I just didn't want to deal with it. Something didn't feel right. And this is a great thing for you guys to grasp hold of. If it doesn't feel right, it's not going to be right. And things, sometimes things start off kind of rosy, but the plant kind of dies after a little while. You got to move on and do what you got to do, and I'll find a different way. It doesn't matter. I mean, you're not rushing time here with that caterpillar to butterfly syndrome. It's a process. Life is a process. And a word not in there in the quote box is belief. And this is what you're going to have to deal with. Somebody's belief about you is going to determine the outcome of what you're trying to have, be, and do. And if they don't believe in what you're trying to do, or if they are apprehensive, or the energy just doesn't click, just move on. And connect to something that believes in you, or someone that believes in you per se. Belief, something that is accepted, considered to be true, or held as opinion. I don't know what was going on with whatever behind the scenes, but they had everything. They literally had financials, letters. I mean, they wanted me to go to my employer and get handwritten letters stating that I still with the company. But it says it right there, meatball. Does that make sense? It was just their opinion. However, whatever opinion they had, it didn't matter to me. I was like, okay, I'm done. Are you sure? Yes. Well, are you crazy? No, I'll find a different way, a path that feels better. I think there's always a reason for everything, and there's an answer in everything. And if you're not connecting on the right path to what you're trying to do, it's time to change the path. It's time to move forward. And you've got to understand it for yourself. You can't just keep fighting with form. You can go out there and try to fight and create all this manifestations, anything. You don't have to fight. You just have to feel it. You have to be it, and you have to pursue it every single day. And watch what life does. And after weeks and weeks and weeks of trying to convince these people when I really didn't have to, was right there. I had all the financials, all the scores, everything to guarantee, it still wasn't enough. You know, you got to ask yourself the question, does this feel right anymore? No, it's time to move on. And you got to ask yourself that kind of question, whatever was going on in your life. If you have to keep fighting for it, it doesn't make sense. You're here to create, and everything should come out of you naturally. And I've always believed that, and it's always worked out the best way for me, in my humble opinion, mind you. But it's my belief. It's something that is accepted. I've accepted myself for who I am. Now you got to accept yourself for who you are, and whatever you're trying to have, be, and do. And watch how life responds. Don't let anyone ever take your joy, your bliss. I mean, people go from bliss to pissed in a matter of seconds. You got to ask yourself the question, is that person right in my life to help me get to where I want to go? Or that situation right in my life to help me get where I want to go? If it doesn't feel right anymore, then move on. And I'm proud of where I've been and what I've created in life. And hopefully you guys are too, no matter what has happened. Be proud that you're still here. You're still able to watch this and other videos and people and have a life and relations and whatever you're doing. This is the kind of mentality that creates the limitless mind. Because when you start putting limits in your mind, you start creating barriers. And you start getting fearful about what's going on in life. With a limitless mind, there's limitless opportunities. I bang my ear on the mic today. So guys, I'm going to head off. I got a lot of things to do today. Happy birthday to my youngest, Julia, my little princess. You're in your 20s now. Holy Christmas tree. In their 20s, man, my youngest. And I'm so proud of you, as all my children, guys. Happy birthday to you, Jules. I'll see you in a little while, guys. America's Mentor. I'm going to head out _radio on Instagram, at America's Mentor on Twitter, at America's Mentor on YouTube. Guys, we all have stories that what I've just mentioned for the past 10, 15 or whatever minutes. I mean, learn from that. Learn from that and realize that there are no limits. If you want something bad enough, it's going to make its way to you, because you're going to find a way to get there, guys. So have an awesome Tuesday, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon, man.